All right, this is my demo explanation video for assignment 5, demo 5. I'm just going to start by going through the requirements for it and we'll look at this. I have the requirements and my command prompt and the Word document over on this other screen. I'll pull those over when I need to. So I'm just going to start at the beginning. For part A, I implemented this is all the code from the book. This is the evaluate expression code. I implemented all of that, so that's all good for part A. For part B, it says to modify the program to print both the stacks so you can see them for the other parts. So what I did was I went down here and I used 2 different for loops to print those right before the final processing happens. That way nothing's gone from them that we need to see. So I implemented that. That's for part B, and you'll see that works in the other parts. And then, so for part C, the first part of part C was to look at what we had to do. We had to look at question. I'll pull this over. We had to look at these 2 questions from the book. So the first one says it pulls up a couple of expressions, like 1 plus 2, 1 plus 2 with parentheses, some stuff like that, and just asks if the program can evaluate that. The answer to that, I have this on the Word document over here, is yes, the program can evaluate that because it can evaluate expressions containing integers and these operands or operators, sorry. And then these I did them. So this just shows the output of that. So this is all the screenshot of that from the command prompt. So that you can see I evaluate 1 plus 2 here. That shows you the 1 plus 2 and the plus and the result for that. These are the 2 stacks. And then same thing for the other ones. And then it doesn't show the parentheses here because those happen before at the more of the beginning of the processing, and these stacks are getting printed out right before it does the final processing to find the result. So yeah, but it still prints everything we need to see here. The only difference, as I noted down here, between those is that when the parentheses are around the entire thing, it seems to do that first, and then it gets processed, and then that's what the reason we see 3 here instead of 1 and 2. So this is again showing after this processing inside the parentheses happens, but it still shows the exact same thing, and there's nothing in the operator stack anymore because it's already done that. So yeah, that's why that one looks like that. So that's pretty much just what I said right here in this. Yeah, that's the first part of part C, and then the second part of part C says to do the second question, so 11.2, 2011.2, and the second part of that is to do this other expression and then explain what's happening. So I put that other expression in, and then I explained it all down here. But basically, it's just that for the operand stack, it's showing these 3 numbers, and it's showing 75 because that is after the 2 parentheses have been multiplied. The 2 things in the parentheses have been multiplied and the 3 added. So it shows that because that processing has already happened because that's what's interacting with the parentheses. And then after that, it just has the 4 and the 5 left to do for the final part of it, and then these are the only 2 operators it's using. So and that gives us that result. So that's the end of part C, and then part where was I? Yeah, part D for the assignment. Yes, so far we've gone through A, B, C, and then all those. I have all those. And I have this Word document as well, which I'll attach. And then this one for part D, it says to test your code with the third question, which is inputting this expression, which incorrectly produces 10, and just to what was it? Yeah, explain why. So I did that in this next part, and I showed that my output does in fact do that. And I'll show that in command prompt right here. So this is what I just did. I'll do it again. So you just go Java evaluate expression. I have to check to make sure I spelled it right every time because I don't want to mess that up. And I think that's good. So you do Java evaluate expression. Then we're going to do 4 plus 5, 5, 5, and then we'll do that. That shows this as a wrong expression. It still shows your stacks, and it shows the wrong expression. So that's working as we expect it to. So for that, and and then it says to say why. So I have this here that I basically just say, because at the end when you're popping, and I'll show the code alongside this, at the end of the method, which normally would be right, you'd pop this out right here, and that would be the thing you return. When that's, let me find this again, sorry, when that's happening, when that happens, it has these other two 5s to deal with because they don't have operators, and so it doesn't know what to do with that. So I think what's happening here is that it's adding 2 of the 5s together, and then that gives us 10, and it just discards the other 2, which is not right. Obviously, we don't want to do anything with these because they don't have any operators. So the solution to this is to throw an exception if that stack is not empty, because in this case it still has 2 left. So the solution is to throw an exception if it's not empty after popping the result out. So this is the code, and you can see that right here. This is the code for that. I just made it so when you pop that out, that goes into a variable. And then after you pop that out, if it's still not empty, which I'm asking here, or I'm saying if it is empty, then you return the result. If it's not empty and there's something left, then you throw an exception, and that prints out. So yeah, that's how you fix that. And I have that right here, and I just showed you that is doing the wrong expression thing, which is what I just showed a second ago. And then the next part of the assignment is to modify that to discard as incorrect input, which I did. And then F is to do this expression and show it's produced right after you do that. So give me a second. Let's bring the command prompt back over here. I'm going to go Java evaluate expression. I'm going to do 4 plus 5 plus 5 divided by 5. Then we'll hit enter on that. Oh, yeah, I made a typo. Let's do it again. Java evaluate, that's still a typo. Evaluate expression. Java evaluate expression. 4 plus 5 plus 5 divided by 5. So that is the expression that we want for this last part for F. Is that right there? Yeah, so let me press enter on that. And that correctly prints out what we would expect from here. That adds those, it adds those 2, and then it also has those as well, and that prints out 10. So that's now working correctly. And yes, so we did that, did all those parts. I believe that's it. I'll go through them one more time just to make sure I have everything. So first part, yeah, implement the code, got that. B, modify the code to print those. I have got that right here. And then where did my assignment? There we go. So I got that. C, use those to answer those 2 questions, which I did in the Word document. So I have that right here and here. And then the next part is to do the 3rd question and explain why that produces 10, which I did right here. And then the next part, E, is to change that so that it discards it as incorrect input, which I did here after I explained why. And then the last part, F, is to reevaluate that other expression, which I showed as well. So I think that's it. I have all the parts, I believe. Cool, thank you.